know the feeling. One minor comment, a sideways glance, or a single rude email, and suddenly your entire day derails. When that happens, we usually make a very quick, very logical assumption. We blame the event. We assume our peace was stolen strictly by the thing that just occurred. But the actual culprit usually isn't the comment or the glance. It is a failure of our own internal boundaries. We take a chaotic moment from the outside world and drag it straight into our own minds. This disconnect suggests that the weight we feel doesn't come from the events we encounter, but from a specific internal response that happens immediately afterward. Consider the story of Thomas. He was a man who lived completely at the mercy of the outside world. If someone pushed him, he pushed back. If someone spoke harshly, he matched their tone. Thomas carried a chronic fatigue that his neighbors mistook for anger, his body and mind worn thin from internalizing every conflict. Think of every insult, slight, or harsh word as a physical stone. Subconsciously, Thomas was reaching down and picking every single one up. Over the years, those stones gathered into a heavy, invisible bag on his back. His posture sagged. This exhaustion illustrates a ruthless psychological rule. Without internal boundaries, you end up carrying the weight of the entire world inside your own body. Hoping to escape his heavy life, Thomas packed up and hiked out of his village toward a quiet mountain peak. He believed a new environment would cure his internal turmoil. The air up there was still, and the grass was soft, but his mind remained incredibly loud. The heavy bag of stones had simply traveled up the mountain with him. Then another traveler appeared on the same trail, an old merchant carrying almost nothing, stepping lightly and humming a quiet tune. Two men were navigating the exact same harsh incline, but one was suffering under a crushing weight, while the other walked in complete peace. The merchant stopped, looked at the massive bag on Thomas's back, and asked a simple question. "Why do you keep those stones?" Thomas defended his load. He explained that when people hurt him, he felt it so deeply that he had no choice but to carry the pain. The old man picked up a rock from the path, held it up, and simply dropped it back into the dirt. This diagram shows an external action. The person hurling an insult is like that rock. The action belongs entirely to the external world. The error is assuming the stone jumps into your back. Instead, your reaction actively reaches across the boundary to pull the offense inward. Look at the sheer imbalance of this dynamic. The person who threw the insult walks away feeling fine, while you add their weight to your journey. Your reaction is your burden. They threw the stone, but you are deciding to pick it up and carry it. Hearing this, Thomas realized he had spent his entire life hoarding emotional garbage that didn't even belong to him. He reached into his bag and one by one began pulling the stones out and returning them to the earth. With every rock he let go, the pressure in his chest eased. His shoulders lifted. He could finally look up and see the colors of the world again. The world around him remained as imperfect and abrasive as ever, but Thomas moved through it unaffected, now that his internal world was shielded. You can build this exact boundary for yourself using a simple 1-minute practice tonight. Right before you go to sleep, sit quietly. Think of one heavy moment from your day, a petty argument, a slight, a mistake, and visualize it as a literal stone resting in the palm of your hand. Then actively sever the tie between that external event and your internal worth. Whisper to yourself, "This stone is not mine. I release it." Imagine placing that stone gently on the ground. Leave it right there, permanently locked in the past. We have zero control over what the world throws at us. But as the gatekeepers of our own minds, peace begins the exact second we decide not to pick up the stone.